Fortnite has been one of the biggest gaming phenomenons in recent years, and to make sure it stays relevant, Epic have been releasing on all sorts of platforms, and it just came out on the Nintendo Switch. So how does this hybrid console keep up? More after the intro. After a free download from the eShop, log into an Epic Games account and you'll be prompted with the very familiar main menu, which is pretty identical to the other versions of the game. Which on one hand is great because if you've played Fortnite before, then you already know how to use it. But to me it feels kind of cramped, but not much time is spent here anyway, so who really cares? Where the game does feel cramped sometimes is when an actual match is going on in handheld mode. For example, the kill feed is pretty small and I find myself leaning in a bit to read it. However, I think this is a sacrifice Epic had to make so enough space on the screen would be used for the actual gameplay. As far as the controls go, I like them a lot, and in both handheld and controller mode it's very comfortable to play and straightforward to learn. The biggest question though is how does Fortnite actually run on the Nintendo Switch since it doesn't have as much power as an Xbox or a PlayStation? I honestly thought it was going to be pretty bad, with frame rate issues being the worst of it. However, since Epic Games makes the engine that Fortnite runs off of, which is called Unreal Engine, they can do amazing things in terms of optimizations for all their platforms. Unfortunately, the game runs at only 30 FPS and you do get some frame dips sometimes, but in combat it holds up pretty well. Also, if you're walking in a bigger environment like Tilted, the game can drop some frames. In handheld mode, the game runs at the display's native 720p resolution, which looks pretty good. I was quite afraid that the environment in the distance would look kind of pixelated, but the whole game looked really sharp, and so that was nice to see. And in docked mode it gets even better because the entire game runs at 900p. If you'd like to see more how it performs, after the video I'm going to put a recorded full match so you can see how it runs. The Switch's performance is not as good as the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, but the Switch is designed to be mobile, where the other consoles are not. And personally, I think it's awesome that you can take your Switch over to your friend's house and then start playing without dragging along a huge console and monitors. I mean, even if they have a PC or an Xbox, you can still play with them, which is awesome since Nintendo is supporting crossplay. How it's always been is, if you have an Xbox, you could only play with Xbox people, and if you have a PlayStation, you could only play with PlayStation people, but I think it's really cool to see this new movement of no matter what console your friend has or what you have, you guys can still play together. And I hope more games start to follow this crossplay trend, and I hope more companies start to support it. Sony. Plus, since you log in with an Epic Games account and not a Nintendo account, if you buy a Battle Pass on PC, it'll cross over to your Switch and your Xbox as well, which is really nice. However, one of the most annoying issues about Fortnite on the Switch, and one of the things that make it really hard to play, is the networking issues. Which isn't even Epic Games' fault, it's the wireless chip inside the Nintendo Switch, which is called the Broadcom BCM4356. The reason Nintendo chose this specific wireless chip is because it's able to achieve higher speeds for downloading games and updates, and also streaming video, but it sacrifices range as a trade-off. So if you're anywhere decently far away from your router trying to play a match of Fortnite, it would lag every so often, which was really frustrating. So to potentially get better results, you can buy Nintendo's Ethernet adapter for the Switch, or you can sit closer to your router. I think $60 for a new Switch dock from Nintendo should totally include Ethernet, but it doesn't, so that sucks. So to be clear, this isn't a problem by Epic Games, but I just wanted to say it so people were aware. In conclusion, Fortnite for the Switch is a really good port for Nintendo to have. It runs pretty well and feels just like the other versions of Fortnite. Plus, it's a fun casual or competitive game to play in some spare time, and it's free, so why not try it? So thank you guys for watching this video. Since it's now summer, we have a lot more time to put into making these videos, so there's a lot more diverse and interesting content to come. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to check out another video here, or subscribe if you want to stay tuned for our latest content, and we will see you guys in our next video.